Today, we're exploring Oxford, a city rich in history and movie magic. We'll visit its famous landmarks, timeless architecture, and even a spot from the Harry Potter films. With that, let's make our way over to Oxford to pick up the action. We drive to Oxford and park in the city centre at a new multi-storey car park connected to a large shopping centre. Inside, you'll find well-known high street shops, boutique stores, and a wide range of restaurants catering to every taste and budget. The complex feels sleek and modern, offering all the conveniences of a contemporary city hub. Yet, as soon as you step outside, you're reminded that Oxford is a place of history and heritage. The glass and steel of the shopping centre stand in sharp contrast to the centuries-old architecture that lines the nearby streets. Our first stop is Carfax Tower, one of Oxford's most recognisable and historically significant landmarks. The tower stands 74 feet tall and is all that remains of the 12th century St Martin's Church, which once served as the official city church of Oxford. Its name comes from the French word carrefour, meaning crossroads, a fitting title since it sits at the very centre of the city where Oxford's four main streets meet. Today, Carfax Tower is managed by the Oxford City Council and welcomes visitors for a small entry fee. Inside, a narrow, winding staircase leads to the top. The climb is a bit tight, but it's well worth the effort. Along the way, you can sense the centuries of history that have passed through this space, from medieval times to the modern bustle outside its walls. Once you reach the roof, the view opens up to a breathtaking panorama of Oxford. You can see the spires, college towers, and rooftops that make this city so distinctive. The tower is only a few minutes' walk from the shopping centre where we parked, and like much of Oxford, everything you'll want to see is within easy walking distance. Just a short walk from Carfax Tower is Oxford's historic Covered Market, a vibrant and bustling hub that has been serving the city since the 1770s. Inside, you'll find a mix of independent shops, artisanal stalls, cafes, and takeaway food spots offering something for every taste. From fresh produce and baked goods to handmade crafts and specialty treats, it's a great place to explore and soak up local culture. One standout spot is Pie Minister, a well-known pie shop with a reputation for hearty, flavourful pies. Fans of the brand may recognise it from London's Borough Market, and it's a perfect stop if you're looking for a quick and satisfying meal while exploring Oxford. If you haven't already seen our Borough Market video, be sure to click the link below or in the top right corner of the screen to catch it. As we continue through Oxford, we pass the Lincoln College Library, part of one of the university's oldest colleges, founded in 1427. The library, housed in this historic building, holds centuries-old manuscripts and rare books that reflect the college's long academic tradition. It's a quiet reminder of Oxford's deep scholarly roots in the generations of students who have studied here. Oxford is home to many colleges, each specialising in different areas of study. As we walk through the city, you'll notice that many of these colleges have modest entrances that open into beautiful quads hidden from the main streets. The first one we came across is Lincoln College, founded in 1427. It's known for its strong programs in English, history, law, and theology. reflecting its deep academic heritage. Visitors are welcome to step inside and take a look around the peaceful courtyard and historic buildings free of charge. A short walk away is Jesus College, established in 1571 by Queen Elizabeth I. Originally founded to promote education in Wales, it now teaches a broad range of subjects including politics, economics, law and the humanities. Both colleges highlight Oxford's mix of history, learning and quiet charm tucked behind its busy streets. Blackwell's in Oxford is one of the city's most iconic bookshops. Established in 1879, it began as a small family business and has grown into a cornerstone of Oxford's academic and literary culture. Located on Broad Street, it's directly across from the Bodleian Library, making it a natural stop for students, scholars and visitors exploring the city's historic centre. Inside, you'll find a warm, scholarly atmosphere with shelves packed from floor to ceiling. The shop carries everything from university textbooks and rare editions to travel guides and popular fiction. Its most famous feature is the Norrington Room, an enormous underground space that holds more than 160,000 books, often called one of the largest book rooms in Europe. Just across the street stands the Bodleian Library, one of the oldest libraries in Europe and the main research library of the University of Oxford. It dates back to 1602 and holds millions of volumes, including priceless manuscripts and historic works. Together, Blackwell's and the Bodleian form the literary heart of Oxford, a place where history and knowledge truly meet. Just steps from the Bodleian Library is the Bridge of Sighs, one of Oxford's most photographed landmarks. Officially known as Hertford Bridge, it was built in 1914 to connect two parts of Hertford College. Its elegant design was inspired by Venice's famous bridge of the same name, giving it a distinctly European feel in the heart of Oxford. The ornate windows and graceful arch make it a favourite spot for photos, and it remains one of the city's most popular stops for visitors exploring the historic streets. Next on our tour of Oxford is Trinity College, one of the university's most beautiful and academically respected colleges. Founded in 1555, it offers a wide range of subjects, including classics, philosophy, law, history and the sciences. The college has a long and distinguished history with well-known alumni such as former British Prime Minister William Gladstone and writer John Henry Newman. Its elegant architecture and peaceful gardens make it a highlight for visitors, offering a glimpse into centuries of Oxford tradition and scholarship. Our next stop is the University of Oxford Museum of Natural History alongside the Pitt Rivers Museum, both of which are completely free to enter and offer an incredible range of exhibits. The Natural History Museum is housed in a breathtaking Victorian building, featuring soaring glass and iron ceilings that create a dramatic backdrop for its collections. As you walk through, you're greeted by life-sized dinosaur skeletons, including the famous Megalosaurus, one of the first dinosaurs ever scientifically described. The museum's collection spans centuries, showcasing mammals, birds, insects, and other creatures from around the globe. Highlights include an enormous blue whale model, a towering elephant skeleton, and intricate displays of butterflies and other insects, each presented with careful attention to detail. You'll also find fossils and geological specimens that reveal the story of life on Earth over millions of years, from the earliest forms of life to the modern era. Next door, the Pitt Rivers Museum offers a completely different yet equally captivating experience. The museum is packed with thousands of artifacts from cultures all over the world, arranged in dense cabinet-style displays that invite careful exploration. You can see ancient tools, ceremonial masks, textiles, musical instruments, and everyday objects from centuries past. Each artifact tells a story, giving insight into the traditions, beliefs, and innovations of communities across history. Together, the Natural History Museum and the Pitt Rivers Museum provide a unique combination of science, history, and culture. They are perfect for visitors of all ages, offering both educational depth and visual wonder. A single visit allows you to walk through the evolution of life on Earth, then immediately step into the rich diversity of human creativity and culture. A truly unforgettable experience in the heart of Oxford. On our way to the next stop, we pass the birthplace of Dorothy L. Sayers, the famous author of the Lord Peter Wimsey detective novels, giving a glimpse into the city that shaped her early life. Our next stop, and one of the highlights of our visit to Oxford, is Christ Church College. Founded in 1546, it's one of the university's largest and most famous colleges, celebrated for its impressive architecture, grand halls, and beautiful gardens. Our tour is led by an expert guide who uncovers the college's many hidden gems, including its connections to the Harry Potter films, locations featured in nearly every movie, and its link to Lewis Carroll, who drew inspiration for Alice's adventures in Wonderland while teaching and spending time here.
They study here in the college in small classes, about 3 to 4 students, and they study then elsewhere in different departments, different buildings, in bigger classes, with all the other students from the other colleges who do the same subject. Okay? So small here, large elsewhere. And it might be a bit busy, but what we're going to do is we're going to just push our way through, get straight to the hall, get behind the barriers, get us some space, we can breathe and start. Okay? Let's go.
One of the standout features of Christ Church College is its grand staircase, an iconic structure that captivates the imagination of every visitor. This impressive staircase, with its elegant stone steps and ornate railings, served as inspiration for the Hogwarts staircases in the Harry Potter films. Its design and scale helped bring the magical world to life on screen, and walking up these steps yourself gives a real sense of the atmosphere that inspired some of the series' most memorable scenes. We now enter Christ Church's dining hall, a place that inspired the Hogwarts dining hall in the Harry Potter films. Fun fact, the filmmakers couldn't use the actual hall for shooting because it was too narrow and didn't have enough space for the long rows of tables for each Hogwarts house.
The hall was constructed and built in 1529, so just under 500 years ago. And every student has come here to eat in the hall. Now, on these 2 walls on either side of us, and over the door that we've just come through, these are all old students. All students who have studied here at Christ Church.
Wow.
We've got George Canning up here behind us, who is one of the 13 British Prime Ministers who studied here at Christ Church. He's also the second shortest serving British Prime Minister, lasted 117 days in office. Over there in the ornate frame, sort of curly frame, you've got John Locke, who's nicknamed the father of liberalism. You may know him as Albert Einstein. Now Einstein came here to Christ Church 3 times, in 1931, 32 and 33. And if that isn't hard enough in English, Einstein only spoke German, so the dean who had invited him fell asleep in his lecture. Now welcome to the high table. Now the high table is where the professors eat, the lecturers, teachers. And when the King or Queen of England come to Christ Church, they sit here. Now the King and Queen have been coming here to Christ Church since King Henry VIII, up here. Now, it was King Henry VIII whose right-hand man, as Chancellor of England, was Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, up here in the red. And it was Cardinal Wolsey who created this college in 1525, and it was called Cardinal's College. 4 years later, in 1529, the same year the hall was built, Cardinal Wolsey lost his power. Now, Alice Liddell was the daughter of the dean, the daughter of the head of the college. And she was living here at Christ Church at the same time as the man on the right in the yellow, whose name was Charles Dodgson, but you might know him better as Lewis Carroll.
Exactly. And Alice in Wonderland.
Indeed. Now, Alice in Wonderland, you may know. And it was when they were both here, Alice living here and Lewis Carroll here as a maths professor, that in 1862, Lewis was telling Alice and her 2 sisters a story of a young girl who fell down a rabbit hole and stumbled upon a Cheshire cat lying in a tree with a big grin, and a white rabbit running around with a pocket watch, always complaining he was late. And 3 years later, he published the first edition, the first book in the Alice in Wonderland series. Now, when we look at Alice's picture up there, she doesn't look too familiar. It's because we know her a bit better looking like this, thanks to Disney. Now, the ceiling here is called a fan vault ceiling. And it was installed in 1638 by Dean Brian Duffy. And that might also look quite familiar, especially if looking upwards. There. Look, there it is again. Like that. Okay.
We now step outside and make our way toward Tom Tower, an iconic feature of Christ Church College. The tower is surrounded by historic buildings that once housed student accommodations, administrative offices, and teaching spaces. Walking through this area, you get a sense of the daily life of students throughout the centuries, as well as the architectural beauty that frames this part of the college.
This tall tower here is called Tom Tower, and Tom Tower was designed in 1681 by Sir Christopher Wren, the same architect who designed St Paul's Cathedral in London, the big dome. Now inside Tom Tower is Great Tom, which is the biggest bell in Oxford. And there's something very unique, very special about Great Tom. and that's that every night at 5 minutes past 9, the bell rings 101 times. Now the reason is that in the early days of the college, at the beginning, there were 100 students who lived here and studied here. And they would ring the bell once for every student and once for luck.
As we leave Tom Tower, our next stop is the Cathedral within Christ Church College, one of Oxford's most remarkable and historically significant sites. Unlike some college chapels, this is an active cathedral holding regular services every Sunday that are open to both students and visitors. Its role as a place of worship and reflection has continued for centuries, making it a living part of the college's history. Inside the cathedral is filled with breathtaking details. The stained glass windows are some of the finest in Oxford, depicting biblical scenes and historical figures in vibrant colour that shifts beautifully as sunlight streams through. The stonework throughout the cathedral is equally impressive, with intricately carved arches, columns and memorials that showcase the skill of generations of craftsmen. Christ Church Cathedral is also the final resting place for many notable figures, including scholars, bishops and other influential members of Oxford's past. Walking through the nave, you can see memorial plaques and tombs that reflect the cathedral's deep connections to the city and university. Every corner of the space tells a story, blending art, history and faith, making it an unforgettable highlight of any visit to Oxford.
Altar is an oak tree that was given by Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth.
Here are some fun facts about Christ Church Cathedral. Beyond its role as an active place of worship, it has appeared in several films and television productions, thanks to its stunning architecture and historic charm. Its striking interior and intricate stonework have inspired scenes in movies, including serving as a model for locations in the Harry Potter films. The cathedral also houses a famous set of bells, which are still rung regularly, and its organ has been used in recordings and concerts over the years. With centuries of history, artistic detail, and a touch of Hollywood magic, the cathedral offers more than just religious significance, it's a true cultural treasure of Oxford.
The east is meant to represent the rising sun and Christ's resurrection. And that's the west end. So when you come in there, you come out of a typical Tudor landscape, the 1500s, into this Norman landscape with these great big rounded arches. Beautiful. Yeah. And this it's the most beautiful sound, you know. And the cathedral choir is really world-class choir.
Next, we step outside to check out the cloisters at Christ Church College Cathedral. These serene covered walkways surround a peaceful courtyard and have been part of the college for centuries. Historically, they provided quiet spaces for reflection, study and prayer for the students and clergy. And that wraps up our tour of Oxford. With its stunning architecture, rich history, and status as a world-renowned educational hub, there's truly so much to see and experience, and it's all just a short drive from London. We want to hear from you. If you could visit any college or landmark in Oxford, which one would you choose and why? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. We love reading your responses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.